Can you tell me more about this album and what it is so special for you?
Well, this album is my follow-up to my previous album, World of Walker, and I'm very excited about it because in this album I've sat down and started working on more of a, I would say like a, I would say a musical journey in a way. And we got a little bit of orchestral music, kind of similar to what we did with like Hans Zimmer, How I Guess the Rocket, and Time. So I'm just trying to kind of like follow up with that style and those kind of remixes and production and yeah, like some other tracks, up tempo, more a little bit upbeat, different styles of production, and I've just been trying to experiment a little bit.
Yeah. How important is for an artist to have a journey, to present a journey from the album or something like that, to have a story behind it? It is important.
Yeah, for me, it's very important because the entire universe that we built is literally a story and it has a storyline, and then it's kind of fun for me and the director and the management and everybody around to be able to kind of like try to implement that journey into the music videos, and everything that happens on, for example, social media and everything.
That's a great idea to come with something new and everything fresh for the fans and everyone. Yeah. You used the strings and orchestral elements for the Adventure Time song. How do you feel about experimenting with other different sounds for a song?
Like, I would definitely love to do more of this in the future as well, because like I'm a huge fan of like film music, orchestra, and all that. And of course, obviously, Hans Zimmer is one of my idols, so I look up to a lot and admire his work, his production, his melodies, his way of writing melodies, and I can't stop by like being inspired by what he does, and then incorporate that into, for example, Adventure Time.
Can you tell me, or it's a hard question, what's your favorite song from the Walkerverse Part 1? Do you have a favorite song? Do you the most proud of?
I think like either probably it probably is like Adventure Time, honestly, because like I feel like I've gotten to play so much for like the melodies, use the strings, brass, everything, just to like create that cinematic experience, I would say, and then go into like that electronic up tempo drop, and yeah, to kind of like give the listener kind of like a kind of like a best of both worlds in a matter of like giving them both electronic dance music and also film music.
Yeah, that's a great song. Yeah. Can you tell me how excited are you for the Walkerverse tour?
I'm super excited. First official Alan Walker tour since the pandemic, and we're going all around in Europe, US, and some places in Asia. So we're getting to go a lot of places, and I wish we could have gone even more places to meet fans, people, and the audience.
Yeah, that's great. That's great that we are back to the normal life. Yeah, after this.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have a favorite venue will you play in this tour?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't necessarily have more like a single-handedly like specific venue where I would like to play. Like I'm just naturally like this very very excited that I get to go each and every place that I'm going to.
Can you tell me what's your biggest dream at this moment? Do you have a dream or something like that? What do you want to accomplish in the future, in the coming years?
I hope that the coming years will be filled with continuous success for the music and streaming and all that, and that every song is going to be welcomed with open arms from both fans and new listeners. And yeah, and I wish that I could keep on working with music the same way as I do today, keep on touring, traveling, and do about 100 concerts a year, and at the same time do the productions on the side.
So can you tell me what do you love to do in your free time when you are at home, or do you have a favorite hobby or something like that?
When during the pandemic, I caught up on gaming a lot. So that's kind of like a sideline from gaming. I mean, from music production, and at the same time, like for example, I've been trying, for example, new things like like those wind tunnels. where you can
Yeah,
kind of like do indoor skydiving. I've been doing that a
yeah.
little bit, and just try to kind of like find like a hobby to do on the side that will keep me active, and yeah, it's something fun to do on the side.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Uh, can you tell me from where do you get your inspiration when you go in the studio and produce music? Do you have one ritual or something like that? What inspires you when you produce music?
When I sit down to start writing like the melodies and all that, then I often start off with sketches that are written on tour. Because on tour, like then I don't have like a full setup with all the plugins and all that. Then I just have more a base where I can write melodies. So I just sketch like almost like every day, just different melodies, and just try to kind of like come up with a melody that could be, for example, a new up and coming song that I could, for example, try out when I finally get to Oslo, where I can sit in the studio and work again. So I'm just trying to kind of like convey the melodies that I started working with, and see the potential that I once felt that I had, and if they could be taken further on. And in many occasions it does. And other than that, I just sit down, start playing on a piano, and if I find like it, or if I play like a melody that I find amusing, or that could be like melancholic, nice and soothing, then I would try to kind of like just get on right in FL Studio, and then just start reworking on it and get it in more like triplets, classic Walker style.
Yeah, great tips. Yeah, because we spoke about from where do you get the inspiration. Do you have one piece of advice for the young producers, the aspiring music producers, something to inspire them to achieve their dreams?
What I would what I would say to myself if I was in this day and age of producing music and up and coming, then I would say like try to create something that sets you apart from everybody else. It doesn't have to be too much of a difference, but like this, like for example, what I did, I initially produced Fade at 128 BPM, but I thought that was kind of like odd, so I just tried to turn down the BPM and I put it to 90, and that was like unheard of, and it just completely changed the song, and it turned out amazing. And then I continued making like up tempo, down tempo songs just because I thought the sound was so cool. And by doing so, then I was able to find like a signature sound, and I think signature sound is very important, because that's how the listeners will identify you apart from everybody else.
That's really important, to have your own sound and to have your DNA in everything you create. What we can expect from Walkerverse Part 2? Do you have something prepared special for that, or will be Tierra Part 2?
Most likely, but more music, and for the future, well, also the same. Whether there will be a part 2, or yeah, depends what we got down the pipelines, but everything is still in the works.
So, because we spoke about the future, how excited are you about NFTs and metaverse and this whole new Web3 space? How do you think will change the future of the music?
I think like through like NFT space, crypto world, and all that, we definitely do have a potential to do something great with music, and something that we haven't seen before. And for example, I've teamed up with Corate, where I would sell shares of the song that I'm releasing, and then the ones that buys the shares for, let's say, $10, then they would have like the right to earn money from the income of the song for 5 years, depending on the license. And I think that's like a great way to kind of like give people a opportunity within the crypto world, and it's a cool way to incorporate music and the crypto world by in a way like monetizing the music through crypto. But and there's so many other options that we have, and yeah, I've been gradually looking at NFTs and been into Bitcoin, Ethereum for a few years, and yeah, it is interesting, but it's also so volatile.
So yeah, it's very nice and good ecosystem for the future. Yeah, in my own opinion. But yeah, do you have a message for your fans who are watching this interview in the end?
Yeah,
You do have to say something.
Yeah, if anyone here is listening to my music, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it, and I'm grateful from the bottom of my heart. If I'm coming to you or to your city, your country, around the Walkerverse Tour, make sure you pop by and get your tickets. And yeah, once again, thank you so much for listening to my music and being a fan. And hopefully you like and enjoy the Walkerverse album.